So another inflammatory condition in the digestive system or in the gastrointestinal tract is diverticulitis. Natapos natin yung appendicitis, now we have diverticulitis. Sabi natin, yung appendix is a normal structure of our GI tract. Ang diverticulum, hindi. Okay? So, pag sinabi nating diverticulum, this is the singular form, di ba? Diverticulum. Okay, this is an outpouching. This is an outpouching. Okay, this is not normal. Ayan, no? Nakikita mo may mga outpouching. Outpouching. So if you're going to draw this, ayan, ito yung colon, ayan. So makikita mo, merong outpouching like this. Yeah, this is an outpouching. Ito, kagaya nito. Yan, that's an outpouching. Pag isa lang, ang tawag, diverticulum. Pag marami, ang tawag, diverticula. And the presence of several diverticula, ang tawag natin, diverticulosis. What is the etiology of diverticulum? Well, we do not know the cause. Idiopathic ito. Okay. But the risk factors include age. And this is more common among elderly. Bakit? Kasi pag elderly na class, pag elderly na, very lax na yung mga muscles din sa colon. So hindi na masyadong matibay, no? And syempre, constipation is also a risk factor here. So matigas yung dumi. So what happens is tumataas ang pressure sa colon, so nagkakaroon ng outpouching. So that is the reason how diverticulum happens. Okay. So kapag maraming diverticulum, ang tawag diverticula, and the presence of diverticula, ang tawag diverticulosis. Diverticulosis. Okay. Wala namang signs and symptoms yung diverticulosis, no? Minsan nga nakikita lang to as an incidental problem. Halimbawa, meron akong pina-CT scan na patient para makita kung meron siyang stone sa urinary tract. Wala siyang stone sa urinary tract, but there was an incidental finding of diverticulosis. Pero wala siyang signs and symptoms ng diverticulosis. Wala. Yan ang magiging problem. Pag nagkaroon ng inflammation, yun ang magiging problem. So ang tawag natin ngayon, diverticulitis. So yung patients na may diverticula, diverticulosis, diverticulitis, overall, ang tawag natin dito class, diverticular disease. Diverticular disease. Yan. Ang tawag natin ay diverticular disease. Okay, so yan yung tawag natin dyan. So diverticulitis. Okay, magkakaroon lang ng signs and symptoms kapag nagkaroon na ng inflammation. Okay, so erase ko na ha. So let's talk about diverticulitis. So what is the etiology? Paano naman po siya nagkakaroon ng inflammation? Now, there are two possible etiology of diverticulitis. Number one is infection. Bacterial infection. Alam naman natin na yung colon ay punong-puno ng bacteria dyan. So yung outpouching na yun is not normal. So if there is proliferation of bacteria in that outpouching, then infection sets in. Meron din namang fecalit. Maalala mo to? This is also the etiology for appendicitis, yung presence ng fecalit. Okay. So halimbawa, again, ito yung colon. Ayan, yung colon. Tapos meron tayong dalawang outpouching. Ayan. This is one diverticulum. Ayan. And this is another diverticulum. Ayan. Okay. One possible cause of this is infection. So pwedeng magkaroon ng bacterial infection affecting the diverticulum. Okay. So magkakaroon ng infection? Yes. Magkakaroon ng swelling, redness, heat, and pain. Now, another possible problem is yung obstruction by a fecalit. Because constipation is one risk factor, magkakaroon ng obstruction. And just like what happened to appendicitis, naku, magkakaroon ng bara dyan, diba? Tapos eventually, hindi makakadaan dyan, magkakaroon ng ischemia, tapos mamamaga. Okay. Ito rin, because of the inflammation, because of the bacterial infection, magkakaroon ng inflammation, magkakaroon ng infection. Naku, inflammation daw. So what are the signs and symptoms? Ito na naman. Di may pain, o nasaan naman ang pain? Dahil ito ay nasa colon, we have left lower quadrant pain. Sa appendicitis, nasa right lower quadrant pain. Sa colon, nasa left lower quadrant pain. Diba? Meron din siyang nausea and vomiting. Pwede. Okay. Meron din siyang fever. Kakaroon ng fever yung patient mo. Okay? Nagkakaroon din ng, pwede rin siyang magkaroon ng feeling of bloatedness. Ayan. Parang bloated yung kanyang tiyan. That is diverticulitis. This is common among elderly. Okay? So, diagnostic tests, okay. Kagaya rin nung sa appendicitis, no? They will have to do all those diagnostic tests, ultrasound. Minsan naman walang makikita dyan eh. And sometimes they do the CT scan or the MRI to be able to see that. Pero sa Pilipinas, hindi. Kabisado naman ng mga surgeons itong diverticulitis. Okay, so let's go directly to management. Okay, ano bang management natin dito? Dalawa yung management. Diretso tayo sa medical management. So the patient will be given antipyretic kasi may fever siya. The patient will be given antibiotic. Okay. Now, surgical management may be done kapag ang patient natin ay may obstruction. Kasi pag may obstruction, kailangan tanggalin kasi baka magkaroon ng necrosis doon. And surgical management will be done if there is abscess formation. Halimbawa, ang cause nga nila is infection, tapos nagkaroon na ng abscess. Hindi kasi gagaling yun eh. Kapag may abscess, kailangan tanggalin mo yung abscess. So surgery will be done only if there is obstruction and if there is abscess formation. Otherwise, yung majority ng patient na may diverticulitis, pag binigyan ng antipyretic at antibiotic, nawawala na. Mas common yon kaysa dun sa obstruction ang cause o kaya sa abscess formation. Again, pag appendicitis, where is the pain? Right lower quadrant. Pag diverticulitis, where is the pain? Left lower quadrant. And direct management is this one. Okay? So this is diverticulitis. Okay. Are we done copying? Tapos na ba? Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay. So let's erase now. Okay, and then let's go now to cholecystitis and pancreatitis. Okay, this is the gallbladder. Okay, this is the liver. Okay, okay. When you say cholecystitis, this is inflammation of the gallbladder. And the most common cause of cholecystitis is gallstones. Ito yung mga stones sa gallbladder. Okay? Paano tayo nagkakaroon ng gallstones? Okay? At paano nagkakaroon ng inflammation? Let's talk about it. Okay? So cholecystitis is inflammation of the gallbladder. What is the etiology? The etiology ay gallstones. Or gallstone is also called cholelithiasis. This is a stone in the gallbladder. Okay, bakit nagkakaroon ng stone? Okay, tignan muna natin yung bile. Di ba sabi natin, the role of the gallbladder is to storage, okay, to store and concentrate bile. To store and concentrate the bile. Okay, for storage and concentration of bile. This is our gallbladder. Okay. Ano ba ang components ng bile? Di ba sabi natin, the bile is composed of water, the bile is composed of bile salts, the bile is composed of cholesterol, and the bile is composed of bilirubin. So kapag ka nagko-concentrate tayo ng bile, bumababa yung water, di ba? Tapos dumadami yung solutes. Kaya nagiging concentrated yun. Pag sumobra sa concentration yan, class, and there is too much cholesterol in the bile, this cholesterol will form cholesterol stone. Okay. Tapos itong bilirubin, ayan, itong bilirubin naman, they will be forming pigment stones. Magpo-form naman siya ng pigment stones. Okay, so ito yung mga stone that is actually precipitating in the gallbladder. Okay, sila yung pwedeng mag-precipitate. Okay, alright. Bakit sila nagpe-precipitate? Bakit sila nagiging stone? So what are the risk factors? Okay, the risk factors include, ito yung tinatawag yung 4Fs. Ayan, 4Fs, no? Common among female, 40 years old and above. Tapos, fertile, at saka fat. Aray ko. Parang dinescribe ko lang yung sarili ko. Okay. So, ito yung 4Fs. Ito yung risk factors para magkaroon yan. So, bakit nagiging ganyan? Kasi all these risk factors will increase the amount of cholesterol in the bile. So, nagkakaroon ng super saturation of bile. And the super saturation of bile will cause the stone formation. Ayan. Super saturation of bile will cause the stone formation. Okay? Ayan. So, bakit nagkaroon ng inflammation? Okay. I-drawing natin yung gallbladder. Hirap i-drawing nito. Pero i-drawing natin, ha? So, di ba sabi natin, andito yung liver. Kunyari lang ito yung liver. Kunyari lang ito yung liver. Ayan. Liver yan. O, kunyari. Okay. The gallbladder is located inferior to the liver. So, di ba? Naasiwa ako sa liver. Dapat kasi, ano yun? Triangle. Gawa na lang tayong liver. Okay. Halimbawa, ito yung liver. Okay. Sorry. Ito yung liver. Ayan. This is the liver. And then this is your gallbladder. Ayan. It is the liver that is actually forming the bile. Ayan. Tapos dadali niya yan sa gallbladder. The gallbladder is here. Ayan. Ayan. Tapos, this is the cystic duct. Ayan. The hepatic duct. This is the common bile duct. Ang hirap. Ayan. And this common bile duct will go to your duodenum. Okay. Ito yung duodenum. Ayan. Ito yung duodenum. Okay. So, ito yung duodenum. Okay, sorry. So, this is your common bile duct. Okay, this is your gallbladder. Okay. So, what is the function of the gallbladder? Storage and concentration of bile. Kapag kumain tayo ng fatty food, ang gagawin ng gallbladder, magko-contract para i-release niya yung bile. Okay. Eh, ano ngayon ang problema? Kapag meron ditong mga stones, ayan, ito yung cholesterol stone. Kapag pigment stone, ang kulay green. Kapag cholesterol stone, yellow o kaya orange. Okay, so ano mangyayari? Kapag meron dyan stone, tapos kumain ng fatty food, magko-contract yung gallbladder. Pag nag-contract yung gallbladder, syempre, magagasgas yung wall. 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 So magkakaroon ng magkakaroon ng irritation. irritation doon sa wall, irritation in the wall of the gallbladder. Okay? Pag na-irritate yung wall, magkakaroon ng injury to the wall of the gallbladder. Pag nagkaroon ng injury, magkakaroon ng inflammation of the gallbladder. May cholecystitis ka na. Okay? Dahil yung mismong stone, ito ko lalagay, yung mismong stone, yun yung nagkukos ng irritation dun sa wall. So ano mangyayari dito sa gallbladder? Mamamaga na yung gallbladder. Okay? So may cholecystitis na tayo. Okay. Ano ngayon ang signs and symptoms? Ito na naman kami. Yung signs and symptoms ng inflammation, pare-pareho lang, di ba? May pain. It is located in the right upper quadrant pain. And the patient will have what we call the Murphy's sign. Ano po yung Murphy's sign? Pag pinalpate mo yung right upper quadrant ng patient, sabihin mo sa pasyente, hingang malalim. Pag hinga niyang malalim, masakit, mag-i-stop yun. Ang tawag doon, Murphy's sign. Okay. The patient may also have nausea and vomiting. The patient may also have indigestion. The patient will also have feeling of bloatedness. Ayan. So these are the signs and symptoms. These are the clinical manifestations. Okay, ano naman ang nursing diagnosis? Diba pareho lang? Acute pain. Nausea is a nursing diagnosis. Indigestion is a nursing diagnosis. Risk for fluid volume deficit related to vomiting. Risk for metabolic alkalosis related to vomiting. Diba? So these are the signs and symptoms. Okay, so may cholecystitis na tayo. So ano ngayon yung ating diagnostic test? Alam mo, isa lang to, okay na eh. Yung ultrasound lang. Ultrasound of the gallbladder. Bingo ka na dyan. Kasi mababaw lang yung gallbladder eh. Kitang-kita na yan. Kitang-kita yan sa ultrasound. Okay. So, pwede rin silang magpa-CT scan. No need for this eh. Kasi makikita mo na yan sa ultrasound pa lang nakikita na. You may also do your CBC, etc. Pero ultrasound is the best diagnostic test. Ha? Gagastos ka lang sa CT scan. The ultrasound is the best test. Lagay na, huwag na natin lagay. Baka sabi mo, sabi ni Doc, magpapausap. Ultrasound, okay na. If not by the gallbladder, the ultrasound of the entire abdomen. Okay. Sandali lang ha. Pag-usapan muna natin yung gallstones. Sabi natin, ma'am, kung wala naman siyang inflammation, delikado ba na merong stones sa gallbladder? Wala naman siyang cholecystitis. Meron bang ganun? May nakita silang stone pero wala namang signs and symptoms, so walang inflammation. Pwede yon. Okay. Delikado ba yun? Oo. Kasi yung stone na yan, class, pwedeng tangayin ng bile at pumunta sa common bile duct. Pumunta. At pupunta sa common bile duct ng stone, what will happen? Babara. The stone in the common bile duct, ang tawag na choledocholithiasis. Okay, choledocholithiasis. This is stone in the common bile duct. The stone in the common bile duct. The stone in the common bile duct. This is choledocholithiasis. Okay. So pag meron ng stone dito sa common bile duct, so yung bile, di ba may bile tayo? Yung bile, di ba, dumediretso dyan yun. Di hanggang dito na lang siya kasi hindi siya makakapasok. So what will happen to the bile? Magkakaroon ng backflowing. Magkakaroon ng backflowing. So dadami yung bilirubin, babalik yan. Okay? So dadami yung bilirubin sa blood. So the patient will have jaundice. Jaundice is a manifestation if there is a stone in the common bile duct. Dangerous po ba yan? Naman. Pag meron ng obstruction, you have to do surgery agad. Tatanggalin yan. Bakit? Kasi, di ba wala nang laman to? Kasi wala nang laman yan, kasi wala nang bile na pumupunta dyan. So what will happen then? Yung mga bacteria na nandito sa small intestine, aakyat sila, aakyat yan, aakyat. Yung mga bacteria, aakyat. So what will happen? The bacteria will proliferate in the common bile duct. Lalagay ko ha, bacteria ascend into the common bile duct. Aakyat yon sa common bile duct. Okay. Anong mangyayari? Magpo-proliferate in the common bile duct and cause damage in the common bile duct. So magkakaroon siya ng infection in the common bile duct. Oo. Ang tawag natin dyan class ay ascending kasi umakyat. Ascending cholangitis. This is inflammation of the common bile duct. Delikado po ba yan? Delikado yan. Kaya kapag merong stone na nandyan sa common bile duct, may signs and symptoms po ba? Ayan, jaundice, abdominal pain, sumasakit yung tiyan niya, nausea, vomiting. Okay? Tapos meron palang stone na naka-block sa common bile duct, baka mag-ascending cholangitis. Infection yan. Ma'am, question, how do we know if the patient is already having this ascending cholangitis? Meron tayong tinatawag na Charcot's triad. The Charcot's triad of ascending cholangitis. Ano ba yung Charcot's triad? No? Number 1, the patient has jaundice. Alam mo na yan, jaundice. Number 2, the patient has right upper quadrant pain. And number 3, the patient has fever. Pag nilalagnat na yan, ascending cholangitis yan. Delikado yan. Pwedeng mag-sepsis ang patient natin, mag-septicemia, pwedeng mag-shock. Anong type ng shock? Septic shock. And how do you know if the patient is already having shock? Ito meron tayong tinatawag na Raynaud's pentad. So 5 naman ang manifestation. Yung 3 sa taas, you have jaundice. Okay, so you have jaundice, you have right upper quadrant pain, okay, you have fever, okay, then you have hypotension, ayan, bumababa na ang BP, and then confusion. Pag meron ka na yan, nagsha-shock na yung patient mo. Anong type ng shock? Septic shock. Delikado. Delikado yan. Okay? Paano naman daw kung naka-dengue nun tapos biglang nag-acute pero calculus naman po. Connected po ba sila? Wala namang problema kung naka-dengue dati. It doesn't follow anymore. Kumbaga, wala namang connection. So, anong tanong mo? Cholecystitis. Kung cholecystitis pero wala namang stone, hindi ito nangyayari. Because cholecystitis can happen kahit walang stone. Okay, so inflammation kasi yun ng gallbladder. Ang sinasabi lang natin, the most common cause of cholecystitis is the gallbladder stone. And the stone in the gallbladder is dangerous when that will lead to this complication. Okay, naintindihan? So kailangan alisin yung stone sa gallbladder. Okay, yung mga pasyente na may stone sa gallbladder, pwede namang hindi alisin yun. Sasabihin, pwede bang di na alisin yan? Sasabihin ng doktor sa'yo, well, if you're not feeling anything, you're not having abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, o sige, let it stay there. Pero once you experience those signs and symptoms, kailangan tanggalin na. Yung iba naman, may pera naman sila. So pag may pera naman sila, o kaya nasa ibang bansa, libre naman to, pinatatanggal na nila. Huwag mo nang hintayin magkaroon ng inflammation. Huwag mo nang hintayin magkaroon ng cholangitis. Tanggalin na yan. Pwede. Pero dito sa atin, hindi. Hinihintay nila. Kapag meron ka ng signs and symptoms, tsaka mo na patanggal. Pag wala namang signs and symptoms, iyaan mo na muna siya dyan. Ganun. Okay. So how do we manage our patient? Management na ha. Management. Okay. So ma'am, may pain ang patient natin. Okay. May pain. So ano kaya ang management mo? Position lang, comfortable position lang. Kung saan siya comfortable na position, then be it. Okay na yun. That's your pain. Okay. Number 2, anong gagawin natin? We have to have the diet of the patient. Siyempre, dapat low fat, high carbo, and high protein diet. Bakit low fat? Kasi pag fatty food, contract ng contract yung gallbladder. Pag contract ng contract yung gallbladder, lalong magkaka-inflammation. Okay? Ma'am, sumusobra na yung pain. May nausea, may vomiting, may indigestion. O anong gagawin mo? Di tanggalin mo na. Pwede mo lang tanggalin ba yung stones lang? Pwede. Kung tatanggalin mo yung stones, paano natin tatanggalin? Number 1, we may have drug therapy. Okay. Anong drug po ang pwedeng magtanggal niya? Meron kang urso deoxycholic acid at saka meron kang quino deoxycholic acid. Quino deoxycholic acid. Okay. So itong therapy na to, dapat to ginagawa for 6 to 12 months. Ang tagal. Ang mahal pa niyan. Oo. Meron akong friends na gaganyan. Pero after nung makaramdam ng pain, ay, wala na. Sabi niya, pa-opera na natin. Oo. So this is your drug therapy. Okay. Meron din naman na tinatawag na lithotripsy. Okay. Pinupulverize. Okay. Pulverize the stone. Parang sa kidney, pinupulverize yung stone. Ito rin, napupulverize. No? Tapos, tinatanggal nila. Kaya lang ang problema nga dyan, baka bumara sa common bile duct. Pero pwede rin yun. Okay. Pwede rin naman na laparoscopic removal. Okay. Yung stone lang ang tatanggalin. Ipapasok yung laparoscope, diretso sa common bile duct, tapos sa gallbladder, tapos iisa-isahin. May monitor yan. Kuha nila yan. Okay. O kaya naman, better yet, kung may stone na at may gallbladders, kung may gallstones na at may cholecystitis na, tanggalin na lang ang gallbladder. Pati yung stone matatanggal. So anong tawag natin sa removal ng gallbladder? Cholecystectomy. Pwedeng laparoscopic. Alam mo, pag laparoscopic kasi, mga 3 butas lang meron yun. 3 butas lang. So very less traumatic. Kaya yun ang gusto nilang gawin. Less traumatic, less bleeding, less complication. But more expensive, syempre. Yung iba ginagawa open. Yung open, binubuksan talaga yung right upper quadrant doon sa may subcostal area. So halimbawa, ito yung kanyang abdomen, ayan. Tapos ito yung subcostal area, di ba? Okay, dito siya hihiwain dyan. Yan yung open cholecystectomy. Pag open cholecystectomy, the number 1 problem post-operatively is pain. Kasi hirap huminga, masakit eh. So kailangan mong diinan mo muna yung sugat, ayan, splint mo muna siya, tsaka kahihinga. Kasi mahirap huminga, kasi painful yan. Diba? Kasi masakit yan. Okay, so this is your cholecystitis, no? Removal of the gallbladder, cholecystectomy. Pwedeng laparoscopic, pwedeng open. Wala na raw gallbladder. Pag wala ng gallbladder, may bile pa ba? Siyempre meron. Saan galing yung bile? Sa liver. Kaya lang hindi na yan concentrated. Diba? So, paano nang gagawin mo? Ay, kailangan yung diet, tuloy mo na. Low fat, high carbo, and high protein diet. Tuloy mo na yun. Okay? So this is your cholecystitis, your cholecystectomy. Okay. Yung ibang na cholecystectomy, di ba? Tatanggalin na to. Ito gusto ko lang i-make mention. Ma'am, tatanggalin na yan. Tatanggalin na yan. Teka. Tatanggalin ko. Okay. So meron ka pa namang bile galing dito. Tama? Papunta dyan. Okay? papunta dyan, may bile ka pa rin. Kaya lang, wala ka ng gallbladder. Gusto ko itong sabihin ha, yung ibang mga tao, pagkatapos tanggalin tong gallbladder na to, naglalagay sila ng T-tube. Okay, naglalagay sila ng T-tube. So, T-tube is being done. So, ito yung T-tube. Lalagay ko ha. Yan. Yan, naglalagay ng T-tube. Kaya yung pasyente, pagkatas ng opera, merong drain. Merong drain. Kasi merong T-tube. Okay. Ba't sila naglalagay ng T-tube, ma'am? Kasi para pumunta dyan yung bile. Kasi pag sobrang dami ng bile dito, yung suture mo dito, yung suture ng doktor dyan, pwede matanggal. Pag natanggal yung suture dyan, lalabas sa peritoneum yung bile. So kaya, dilalagyan nila ng T-tube. So, pag kukonti na yung lumalabas sa T-tube, ibig sabihin nun, kukonti na yung bile dito, okay, yung ibang bile lumalabas na sa intestine. So, tatanggalin na nila yung T-tube. So, the presence of the T-tube post-operatively will prevent pressure on the sutures. Kasi baka mamaya yung suture dito matanggal. Pag natanggal yung suture dyan, ay nako, yung bile lalabas sa peritoneum. Bubuksan nila ulit yun. Magpe-peritonitis kasi yan. Kaya nilalagyan nila ng T-tube. Sa first 2 days o first 24 hours, maraming lumalabas doon. Kasi nga, maraming bile na nandun lalabas. Sometimes up to 500 to 750 ml. Pero okay lang yun. Hayaan mo lang siya hanggang sa after days, pakonti ng pakonti. Kasi yung bile pumupunta na sa intestine. So kumukonti na yung lumalabas doon sa T-tube drain. Okay, so cholecystectomy, usually nilalagyan nila ng T-tube drain. Okay, ang tawag doon, T-tube drain. Okay, so this is your cholecystitis. Do you understand? Learning tayo. Ipangako nyo sa sarili nyo na magbabasa kayo ng libro at babasahin nyo yung module. Sige, real talk tayo. I need honest answer here. Are you reading the modules and the PowerPoint I gave you and the book? Are you doing some readings already? Aside from the lectures I'm giving you. Nagbabasa ka? Sige na, hindi ako magagalit. Very good. Ayan, yes po. Modules po, ma. Okay, very good. You read the book as well, anak. Okay, modules and the book. Alam mo yung iba, masipag talaga yung iba, and may resources naman sila. Piniprint out yung modules. Sa print out ng modules, yun yung binabasa nila. Kasi pwede mo namang i-print yung, diba? Piniprint nila. Kasi mahirap magbasa talaga kapag nasa gadget. So, piniprint nila, yun ang binabasa nila. That's okay. No problem. You can also read your books, ha? So, wag lang yung module. Basahin natin yung libro natin. Okay? So, are we done with cholecystitis? Tapos na ba? Can I erase now? Okay. Okay, very good. Okay. Now, cholecystitis or the stone in the common bile duct or the stones in the common bile duct may also affect the pancreas. Okay. Class, tignan mo to. Ito yung gallbladder, ito yung common bile duct, pumunta sa duodenum. Yung pancreatic duct, tsaka yung common bile duct, meron silang the same opening in the duodenum. You call it the ampulla of Vater. Yan, pareho sila ng pinapasukan. Okay? So, duktungan natin yung problema. Kapag itong gallbladder na to may stone, at yung stone na yan bumara dyan, at bumara sa pancreatic duct, naku, what will happen? Yung pancreatic juice hindi makakalabas natural kasi nabarahan at na-block yung pancreatic duct. So what will happen? Mamamaga yung pancreas. So that can also lead to pancreatitis. Okay? So the stone there, delikado yan kasi magkaduktong yung, magkatabi yung pancreatic duct at saka yung common bile duct. So, ang tawag natin dito is the biliary tree. Okay? Yung bile duct, tsaka yung pancreatic duct. Ayan, ito yung stomach, ito yung duodenum. Okay. Ito sila, oh, ayan. Ito yung gallbladder, ito yung common bile duct, ayan. Ito yung lumabas, ayan. Tapos ito naman yung pancreatic duct, lalabas dito, ayan. Okay? So, pareho sila ng opening. Kaya kung may stone dyan na nakabara, ay babara din dito. Magkakaroon ka rin ng inflammation of the pancreas. But this is not the only cause of pancreatitis. There are other causes of pancreatitis. So pancreatitis is inflammation of the pancreas. Lagay natin ha. This is inflammation of the pancreas. Inflammation of the pancreas. It can be acute. Okay, pag sinabi mong acute, sudden onset. Okay. Pag sinabi mong chronic, okay, this is chronic. Okay, this is repeated bouts. Repeated bouts of acute pancreatitis. Okay, pancreatitis for more than 6 months. So that is your chronic pancreatitis. Okay. Acute pancreatitis and chronic pancreatitis. So what is the etiology? May nakita ka ng etiology ha? Nakita mo kanina, nagkaroon ng gallstone obstruction in the pancreatic duct. Kasi makatabi yung pancreatic duct tsaka yung common bile duct. That's one. Number 2, infection. Infection can cause pancreatitis. Okay, number 3, pancreatic tumor. Pancreatic tumor can also cause obstruction to the flow of pancreatic juice. So it can also cause pancreatitis. At yung malupit yung huli, yung idiopathic, we do not know the cause. Meron pala, meron yun. Okay? So, itatry kong i-drawing ha. Itatry natin i-drawing. So sabi natin, this is your esophagus and okay, and then this is your stomach. This is your duodenum. Yan yung duodenum. Okay. Tapos, sabi natin, the pancreas is located in the coelom portion of the duodenum. Ito yung pancreas. Nasa likod ng stomach. Okay. Ito yung pancreatic duct. This is where the secretion of the pancreas is actually coming. Tapos, nandito rin yung common bile duct. Ito naman yung papunta sa gallbladder. Magkatabi sila. Lalabas sila dyan sa isang opening na yan. Yung opening na yan, yan yung opening na yan. Kaya di ba kanina sabi, pag nagkaroon ng stone dito, magkakaroon din na ng inflammation. Okay? Dapat mag-drawing. Okay. Ano ba ang ginagawa? Ano ba ang content ng pancreatic juice? Ano bang laman niya? Pag kumain tayo ng fatty food, the gallbladder contracts, the pancreas secretes its pancreatic juice. Ano ba yung laman ng pancreatic juice? Ano ba laman? It contains an alkaline juice to neutralize the acidity coming from the stomach. That's an alkaline juice. It also contains enzymes. Nandito yung amylases, the enzymes for carbohydrates. Nandyan yung pepsin and trypsin, the enzyme for proteins. Yung ibang book ang tawag dito, proteases. Okay lang yan. Sige, protein enzymes. Okay. And the other one is called lipases. These are the enzymes that is responsible for digestion of fats. Ang sabi ni Brunner, the lipases are the most destructive enzyme. Bakit yan ang most destructive enzyme? Kasi naman, class, yung cell na membrane pa lang natin is made up of lipid. So kapag yung lipases na yan nagkalat, mamamatay talaga yung mga cell. Kasi membrane pa lang ng cell is already made up of lipid. Lipid enzyme yan. Okay? The pancreatic juice also contains mucus. The mucus and the alkaline juice will help decrease the corrosive effect of the hydrochloric acid in the small intestine. Okay. Infection, tumor, gallstone, nakita nyo naman. So, pwedeng magkaroon dito ng stone sa gallstone, maiipit yan. So, magkakaroon ng backflowing. Magkakaroon ng backflowing of the pancreas or direct infection by bacteria or tumor. O kaya yung idiopathic. Yung idiopathic, ma'am, anong risk factor? Ang risk factor sa idiopathic, number 1, alcoholism. Alcohol. Number 2, fatty meal. Number 3, high cholesterol diet. Puro naman taba. Oo nga eh. Then, obesity. Kasi these are the risk factors that may cause too much release of your lipases. So kung idiopathic, ma'am, ano nangyayari? Pag kumain ka raw ng ganito, there is too much secretion of the pancreas. Okay. So yung mga mucus daw mag-i-stay dito. So mababarahan. So ano mangyayari? Yung mga enzymes, ibahin natin ang kulay. Yung mga enzymes ay hindi na makadaan dyan. Okay. So ano mangyayari sa enzyme? Magbabackflow yung sa enzyme. Yung mga enzyme pupunta sa pancreatic tissues. Okay, lagyan natin ha. So yung enzymes pupunta sa pancreatic tissue. Yung pancreatic tissue natin, ano ba ang itsura na? Yung mga cells natin, it is made up of lipid, fats, and carbohydrates. O di anong gagawin ng enzyme sa pancreatic tissues? Magkukos ng injury. Pag may injury, magkukos ng inflammation. May pancreatitis na tayo. So ang nag-cause ng injury, yung mga enzymes, yes. Kasi dapat yung enzymes na yun pupunta sa GI tract. No, imbis na pumunta sa GI tract, pumunta sa pancreatic tissues. Kaya nagkaroon ng inflammation. Meron ka ng acute pancreatitis. Okay? Ano ngayon yung signs and symptoms? Di pareho rin. Meron kang pain. Where is the pain? Si Brunner, ang sabi niya, left upper quadrant pain. Yung ibang book, ang sabi nila, epigastric pain radiating to the back, left flank, and left shoulder area. Ganon din yun. Pag inisip mo, left upper quadrant yan kasi nasa kaliwa. Okay. The patient will have nausea and vomiting na naman. The patient will have indigestion. The patient will have feeling of bloatedness. Sa lahat ng inflammatory condition na diniscuss natin, patients with pancreatitis, they are the ones that will be at most risk for fluid volume deficit. Bakit? Bakit? Hindi lang dahil suka sila ng suka. Dahil ang mga patient na may acute pancreatitis, ang una mong gagawin sa kanila, hindi sila iinom, hindi sila kakain. Lalo silang madidehydrate na. Yes. Kasi pag uminom sila at kumain sila, lalong dadami yung secretion ng pancreas, lalong magkakaroon ng signs and symptoms. Okay? So ito yung mga signs and symptoms natin. And how do we diagnose our patient? Pareho lang yung nursing diagnosis ha. Ano naman yung diagnostic test? Well, one most definitive diagnostic test is elevated lipases and amylases in the blood. Ano naman napunta sa blood? Plus, masisira ang pancreas. Yung mga maliliit na capillaries magpuputukan. So, papasok yung enzyme sa blood. makikita mo yung enzyme sa blood mataas. So magkakaroon ito ng injury, magkakaroon ito ng bleeding, magkakaroon ng hemorrhage. Kasi masisira yung pancreas. Delikado yan. That will be one of the complications. Elevated lipases and amylases. Kung infection ang cause mo, magpa-culture and sensitivity test ka. Kung infection. Kung common bile duct obstruction, meron kang tumor, ultrasound, meron kang gallbladder stone, ultrasound. Kung tumor yan, mahirap makita sa ultrasound yan, kailangan niya ng CT scan o kaya MRI. So these are the different diagnostic tests. At ang importante dito, yung amylases tsaka yung lipases. Kasi pag bumababa na yung amylases and lipases, that's also the time na yung pasyente natin gumagaling na. Okay? Nakakasunod ka? Nakakasunod tayo. Okay, very good. All right, so well, how do we manage? Iba ang management ng acute pancreatitis sa chronic pancreatitis. So let's do our management first. For acute pancreatitis, okay, ang una mong gagawin, class, is rest the GI tract. Yan, kaya lalo silang magkakaroon ng dehydration. No food, no fluid. What is your nursing diagnosis? Acute pain. And what is your nursing management? Priority, independent intervention. Ano yon? Rest the GI tract. No food, no fluid. Tapos, bigyan natin ng pain reliever. According to Brunner, our pain reliever of choice is morphine as ordered. Narcotic po yan? Yes. Okay. Makinig ka ha. Yung ibang libro, ang sabi nila, meperidine daw. Kasi daw itong morphine daw na to, sumisikip daw yung, nagkakaroon daw ng spasm dito sa opening. Kaya hindi daw pwede yan. Pero sinagot na ni Brunner yan sa mga dati pang mga edition. Sabi niya, lahat naman daw ng narcotics nagkukos noon. And the one that will give you the lesser adverse effect is morphine rather than meperidine. Dahil sa Brunner, ang textbook natin, we will follow Brunner. Morphine is our drug of choice. Hindi pwedeng biogesic. Masakit to. Sobrang painful. Tapos, supportive management. Dahil hindi siya kakain, paano na lang yung nutrition niya? So the patient will be given total parenteral nutrition. Naka-TPN ang patient mo. IV na nutrition yan. Hyperosmotic to. So we have to prevent and monitor for complications. Ano ba yung possible complications ng TPN? Number 1, pwede yung complication niya mag-cause ng hyperglycemia. Kaya yung iba daw TPN, nilalagyan ng regular insulin para hindi mag-hyperglycemia. Pwede yun, pwede yun. Pwede rin silang mag-cause ng hypernatremia kasi hypertonic solution yan. At dahil fluid yan, pwede ka rin mag-fluid overload. So kailangan pag nakaganyan ng patient mo, close monitoring ka. Yes. And number 4, because this TPN is connected to the central vein, so the patient may have infection. So you have to do it aseptically. O tapos, hindi mo rin pinainom. So ano to? Intravenous fluid. Bigyan din natin ng intravenous fluid. Okay, so that is your acute pancreatitis, no? Yan ay supportive, okay? Pero tandaan mo, meron tayong possible cause, di ba? Okay, lagay ko ha, manage the cause. So lagay ko na ulit. Kung ang cause natin ay gallstones, o anong gagawin mo? Remove the stones. Okay, o kaya remove the gallbladder. Kailangan tanggalin yan. Surgery yan. Oo naman. Kung ang cause natin ay infection, bigyan natin ng anti-infective drugs. Kung ang cause natin ay tumor, then we may do surgery. Okay? Okay. Kung hindi natin alam ang cause, wala tayong magagawa. Hindi mo pala alam ang cause eh. So, kailangan na lang natin i-prevent and manage complications. What are the dangerous complications of acute pancreatitis? Number 1 is hemorrhage. Ito yung sinabi ko kanina. Ang pasyente natin nagkaroon ng injury sa pancreas. So the small blood vessels nagkakaroon ng injury, nagkakaroon ng leak. Okay, so what will happen? Ay, ano nangyari doon? Yan. So, what will happen there? Magkakaroon ng bleeding. So, magkakaroon ng bleeding, ma'am. Oo, lalabas dyan. So, pwedeng lumabas na, internal bleeding. Yes, yan ang severe. Wala pa namang masyadong manifestation yan, except pag malala na, you will see Cullen sign. Okay, Cullen sign. Ano ba yung Cullen sign? Cullen sign, may makikita kang hematoma, in the umbilical area. May pasa doon sa umbilical area. Or you will see gray Turner sign. Gray Turner sign is a hematoma or ecchymosis in the flank area. Hematoma or ecchymosis in the flank area. Okay, so this is our Cullen sign and Gray Turner sign, which are signs of bleeding. Sobrang bleeding. Okay? Yan. So, pwede po ba siyang mag-shock? Oo. Anong type ng shock? Hypovolemic shock. Nakakamatay ito. Hemorrhage is one most dangerous complication of pancreatitis. And sometimes, hindi mo nakikita, nag-hypovolemic shock na siya. So that is one possible complication, hemorrhage. Number 2, infection. Siyempre, lahat ng nakahiga yung pasyente. So yung infection, lalo na kung nosocomial infection yan, delikado yan. Okay. Another one is hypocalcemia. Acute pancreatitis is associated with hypocalcemia. Kasi daw, yung calcium daw, nagpo-form ng foam, tapos hindi na-absorb sa GI tract. So, these are possible complications ng ano? Ng acute pancreatitis. Gumagaling naman sila. Oo naman. I have seen patients na gumagaling. No? Halimbawa, magaling na sila. Uuwi na sila ng bahay. Okay. So, ano ngayon ang gagawin natin? Siyempre, they have to follow the diet. And when do you know that the patient is getting better? Bumababa na yung enzyme sa blood. Nagiging better na siya. Nawawala na yung mga signs and symptoms. So the diet will be low fat, high carbo, high protein diet. Ay, parang yung kanina, ma'am. Yung kanina sa cholecystitis, no? No alcohol. So, yan yung diet. Tapos, pag magaling na siya, we need to prevent an attack. O mamaya atakihin na naman. Pwede ba yung paulit-ulit yung pancreatitis? Pwede. And repeated bouts of acute pancreatitis can lead to chronic pancreatitis. Pwede ba siyang magkaroon ng nutritional deficiency? Imbalanced nutrition less than body requirements. Mangangayaya talaga yung pasyente natin. Lalo na pag paulit-ulit, ang tawag na natin ay chronic pancreatitis. Pag chronic pancreatitis po ba, ang management po ba iba? Yes. Okay. Ano po ba ang management sa chronic pancreatitis? Okay. So una, ang management ay the same. Rest the GI tract. Ganun din, no food, no fluid. Inatake ka ulit. O anong gagawin mo? Di na naman siya kakain. O, mabibigyan ulit siya ng pain reliever. Oo. Pero pag chronic pancreatitis na narcotic na, ma-addict na yung pasyente natin. They are also giving those drugs that will decrease gastric secretion para malesen yung further pain. So, binibigyan din sila ng PPI. Tapos, ma'am, supportive ulit. Oo. Ma'am, TPN na naman. Oo. Ma'am, IV fluid na naman. Yes. Usually, pag chronic pancreatitis class, we do not know the cause. Wala naman na infection, paulit-ulit lang siya talaga. Okay, pag wala talagang makita, supportive lang. Diba? Tapos, kailangan mo nang i-manage complications. So, anong complications? Number 1, the patient now is having steatorrhea. Ano po ba yung steatorrhea? This is fat in the stool. Ba't nagkaroon siya ng fat sa stool? Kasi pag sira na yung pancreas, hindi na sila makaproduce ng enzymes. So, pagka ganun, wala nang digestion. So, anong bibigyan natin sa kanila? Bibigyan natin sila ng pancrelipase. This is a replacement. Papalitan natin ang enzyme, pancrelipase. Fat in the stool. Steatorrhea. Okay, that's one. Okay. Number 2, diabetes mellitus. Ay, ba't siya magkakaroon ng diabetes mellitus? Sira na yung pancreas. Pati yung beta cells na destroyed na. So, anong gagawin natin? Bibigyan natin siya ng insulin. Pwede pala yun. At saka yung hypocalcemia, hindi na mawawala. So, with hypocalcemia, we give our calcium substitute. Okay? So, these are possible management. Kapag may chronic pancreatitis na, sorry nakalimutan ko to. Pag may chronic pancreatitis na, this management is actually divided into 3. Number 1, prevent an attack. How do you do that? Follow the diet, no alcohol. Number 2, manage an attack. Ito, minanage na natin. Okay. And number 3, manage complications. Ayan, dinuktong ko na. Manage complications. So, ito yung for chronic pancreatitis. Paulit-ulit. Mangangayayat yung pasyente natin. The patient will have nutritional deficiency. Imbalanced nutrition less than body requirements. So, there you go. These are all the the inflammatory from diverticulitis to pancreatitis. Learning po ba? Yes. Kaya pa ba? O late na? I had been talking since time immemorial. Okay lang po ba? So, pwede tayong mag-meet sa Monday, no? Pero kung okay pa rin sa inyo to, I will continue on with an introduction to endocrine. Okay lang ba? Kahit introduction lang, kahit maiksi lang. Okay lang yun? O, isa lang sumasagot. O, isa lang sumasagot, no ba? O, sige. Para medyo mabawasan tayo ng konti sa Monday kasi sobrang dami. Okay. Again, I will not be following the syllabus, the modules. Pero syempre, kailangan nating ma-discuss yung DM, yung thyroid, yung anterior pituitary, tsaka posterior pituitary. So kung ano yung nandun sa modules 4 and 5. This is already CU4 and 5. Madi-discuss ko yon pagkatapos nitong introduction to the endocrine system. Okay. The endocrine system class, may recording na daw po last topic. Diba nasa Canvas, pina-upload ko kay Ma'am Jackie. Upload na ba? Sabi niya i-upload niya daw. Did you check your Canvas already? Check niyo yung Canvas niyo. Baka nandun lang. Pinapa-upload ko yan kay Ma'am Jackie. Okay? So the endocrine system is a system composed of endocrine glands. Okay? Ano po ba yung endocrine glands? Diba meron tayong glands sa body natin? Yung isa ang tawag exocrine gland, yung isa ang tawag endocrine glands. Pag sinabi nating endocrine glands, these are ductless glands. Okay? They are ductless glands. They don't have ducts where they can pour their secretions to. The secretion of the endocrine system, we call them hormones. Tawag natin ay hormones. That's a secretion of the endocrine gland. And these endocrine glands, since they don't have ducts where they can pour their secretions to, their secretion will go directly into the blood. Okay, so that's your endocrine system. Yung pancreas is both an endocrine and an exocrine gland. May pancreatic duct yun para sa digestive system, pero endocrine gland din yan kasi meron siyang mga beta cells at saka alpha cells na dinedirect yung hormone sa blood. Okay, the endocrine system is controlled by the central nervous system. The central nervous system controlling our endocrine is the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus class controls the endocrine system. Okay, the hypothalamus has endocrine function. Nagpo-produce din ito ng hormones. Okay, anong hormones ang pinoproduce nito? Number 1, nagpo-produce ito ng releasing and inhibiting hormones. Releasing and inhibiting hormones that will actually go to the master gland of the body, which is called the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is also called hypophysis. It is also called hypophysis. So releasing and inhibiting hormones. Okay. Number 2, this hypothalamus also produces your antidiuretic hormone. Ang antidiuretic hormone, hypothalamus ang nagpo-produce niyan. Okay. Ano pa? Yung ano rin, yung oxytocin. Yung hypothalamus din ang nagpo-produce niyan. Okay? Tapos, dinadala ng hypothalamus itong mga ito sa master gland of the body, which is called the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is called hypophysis. Okay, this pituitary gland is actually composed of 2 lobes. No? Meron siyang 2 lobes. Ayan, meron siyang 2 lobes. Meron tayong anterior lobe, which is called adenohypophysis. Okay, and the other one is the posterior lobe, which is called neurohypophysis. Yan. So, yung adenohypophysis, ito yung nagpo-produce ng hormones. Okay? So, yung anterior lobe, yan yung nagpo-produce ng hormones. Ito yung nagpo-produce ng hormones. Yung posterior lobe, ito yung nag-i-store. Okay? So, it is actually storing hormones. Anong hormones ang ini-store niya? Okay. Yung hypothalamus, nagpo-produce ng antidiuretic hormone, tsaka oxytocin, yan ay nai-store sa posterior lobe. Posterior lobe ang nagre-release niyan, pero napoproduce yan ng hypothalamus. Okay? Now, the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland, ito ay nagpo-produce ng hormones. And the production of the anterior lobe is controlled by the hypothalamus. So, nagre-release sila ng either releasing hormone or inhibiting hormone. Releasing or inhibiting hormone. So, for example, ito yung hypothalamus. Example, this is the hypothalamus. Okay? Itong hypothalamus na to, halimbawa, magre-release yan ng, halimbawa lang, magre-release ito ng thyroid stimulating hormone, releasing hormone. So, pagka yan na nag-produce ng thyroid stimulating hormone, releasing hormone, this will go to the pituitary gland, okay, pituitary gland, para mag-produce ng thyroid stimulating hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone. So, kapag ito namang hypothalamus ay nag-produce naman ng thyroid stimulating hormone, inhibiting hormone, so ano mangyari? Hindi naman siya magpo-produce ng thyroid stimulating hormone. So ito magkokosto ng increased production. Okay? Ito naman magkokosto ng decreased production. Magdi-decrease ang production. Nawala. Okay? So yung inhibiting and releasing hormone, ang tawag din natin dyan, inhibiting or releasing factors. Okay? So ito yung role ng hypothalamus. At itong pituitary gland, ito ang tinatawag nating master gland of the body. Bakit siya tinawag na master gland? Kasi kaya siya tinawag na master gland because this will influence the secretion of other hormones. Okay? Pero ang taga-control pa rin sa pituitary gland, yung hypothalamus, and hypothalamus as an endocrine function. Do we understand? Naintindihan ba? Nakakasunod? Okay. So I will change the, hindi naman to kasi, hindi ito, pwedeng hindi burahin kasi may next page. So nag-next page tayo. So let's talk about the pituitary gland. Okay. Itong pituitary gland, nagpo-produce ng dalawang types of hormones. Okay. Anong dalawang types of hormone ang pinoproduce niyan? One, it is producing the tropic hormone. So yung tropic hormones will go to another endocrine gland. It will go to another endocrine glands. Okay? Kaya siya tropic. No? Ang mga example niyan, one, we have thyroid stimulating hormone. Ang tawag din dyan, thyrotropic hormone. Kasi pumupunta siya sa, saan siya pupunta? Sa thyroid gland. Eh di ba endocrine gland din yan? Okay. Another one is called adrenocorticotropic hormone. So, adrenocorticotropic hormone. Okay. So saan naman pumupunta yan? Pumupunta naman yan sa adrenal cortex. Eh di ba? Endocrine gland din yan. Kaya tropic hormone sila. The other one is called gonadotropic hormone. O saan naman ang punta niyan? Obvious ba? Sa gonads. Yung ovaries at saka testicle. Gonads yan. Okay? We have ovaries and testes. Yung gonadotropic hormone, meron kang follicle stimulating hormone. Saka meron kang luteinizing hormone. Okay, so yan yung mga tropic hormones. Meron din siyang pinoproduce na non-tropic hormones. So, obvious ba, hindi siya pupunta sa endocrine gland. It will go to non-endocrine tissues. Like what? Like we have one, meron tayong growth hormone. Okay? Growth hormone, saan ang punta niyan? Pupunta yan sa muscles and bones to promote growth. Then we have melanocyte stimulating hormone. Saan naman ang punta niyan? Obvious ba? Pupunta sila sa mga melanocytes. These are the cells producing melanin. Nagpo-produce sila ng melanin. Okay? Okay. Ano pa? Yung prolactin. Okay? Saan pupunta yan? Iba pupunta yan sa breast. Oo. Mammary glands. Para mag-produce ng milk. Mammary glands para mag-produce ng milk. O, diba? Kaya yung ating pituitary gland, imaginein mo yan, napakadami niyang hormone secretion. So the pituitary gland is called the master gland of the body. Okay? Okay. Bukod sa pituitary gland, what are the other endocrine glands in the body? The pituitary gland is located in the sella turcica of the brain. So, nasa brain yan. Ayan, lagay natin. Ano yung location? Sella turcica of the brain. Nasa brain yan. Meron pa bang ibang endocrine gland na nasa brain? Meron. Ano yung? This is your pineal gland. Class, kapag ka nag-aral ka, ito, babasahin mo to ulit. It would be better kung titingin ka sa atlas. O kaya, tignan mo sa Google. Nasaan kaya itong pineal gland? Ano kaya tsura nito? Ganun. Kasi wala na tayong time to do that. Ha? Ikaw gumawa niyan. Para sa'yo yan, hindi para sa akin. The pineal gland is another endocrine gland in the brain at ang secretion niyan is melatonin. Melatonin. Melatonin daw ang responsible for sleep and wake pattern. Okay. Nagkakaroon daw tayo ng melatonin kapag dumidilim. So kapag dumidilim na, inaantok ka. Kaya pagka medyo malamlam ang panahon, nakakaantok. Sa sinihan, nakakaantok. Kasi nagre-release ka ng melatonin. Melatonin also has an anti-gonadotropic effect before puberty. Before puberty. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Kapag ang bata, before puberty, wala pa siyang development ng reproductive system. Kasi yung melatonin, sinusuppress pa niya yung mga gonadotropic hormone. So yung ovaries and testicles, hindi mature pa sila. Wala kasi silang functioning. Kasi itong melatonin, sinusuppress sila. Okay? Ma'am, paano mangyayari kapag walang melatonin? Walang nagsusuppress ng gonadotropic hormone. Pag walang effect na ganyan ang melatonin, yung mga bata pa lang, nagme-menstruation na. As young as 2 years old. Lumalaki na yung breast, lumalaki na yung testicles, nagkakaroon na ng puberty stage. Ang tawag doon, precocious puberty. So this is called early onset of puberty. As in early as 2 years old. As in early as 5 years old. Diba? You can also Google this later if you want to, na yung youngest mother, okay, was a Peruvian girl who got pregnant at the age of 5 because of precocious puberty. That's your pineal gland. Bumaba tayo mula sa brain, pumunta tayo sa neck. Meron bang endocrine gland sa neck? Meron. Meron tayo diyang thyroid gland. Okay. The thyroid gland is a butterfly-shaped gland, okay, in the neck, okay, and it has actually two lobes, the right and the left lobe with isthmus in between, okay. So ano pong pinoproduce ng thyroid hormone? Nagpo-produce sila ng thyroid hormones. Ito yung T3 and T4. Nagpo-produce din yan ng calcitonin. Now, at the back of the thyroid gland, sa likod, tignan nyo ito mamaya sa atlas, ha? Tignan nyo sa Google Images para alam nyo kung ang pinagsasasabi ko. Your parathyroid glands at the back, okay, these are small ovoid glands at the back of the thyroid gland. Wala naman siyang kinalaman sa thyroid glands, nakikilugar lang siya doon. Okay, at ano naman ang sinisekret na hormone nito? This is secreting parathyroid hormone. The parathyroid hormone that is responsible for calcium metabolism, calcium regulation. Dalawa sila nagre-regulate ng calcium. Yung calcitonin, nagre-regulate din ng calcium. O, bumaba naman tayo sa chest. Ano naman ang endocrine gland dyan? Yung thymus gland. The thymus gland is present from birth, actually from fetal life. Mula sa fetal life yan. Only up to about 8 years old. Up to about 8 years old. Uy, pagka 8 years old na, nag-puberty na, wala na. Wala na. Tayong lahat, wala na yan. Nagde-degenerate na yan. Nagde-degenerate. Ano po ang secretion ng thymus gland? It is actually producing thymosin, which will stimulate the production of T lymphocytes. Diyan na po produce yung mga T lymphocytes. Kaya nga siya tinawag na T lymphocytes kasi sa thymus. So the thymus is part of our immune system. Okay. O, pumunta na tayo sa tiyan. Ano ba yung ating endocrine gland? Unahin na natin yung pancreas kasi alam mo na kung ano itsura ng pancreas, di ba? The pancreas contains cells in the islets of Langerhans. Meron siyang alpha cells na nagpo-produce ng hormone called glucagon. This will increase the sugar in the blood, increase blood sugar level. Meron siyang beta cells na nagpo-produce ng insulin. Ito naman yung nagdi-decrease ng blood sugar. And we also have the delta cells. Okay, the delta cells which will control. Ito yung nagko-control ng ayan, ang pinoproduce nito ay somatostatin that will control glucagon and insulin release. That's your pancreas. Oh, ano pang meron tayong endocrine glands? Tapos na bang umumpia? You tell me when you're done. Tapos na ba? Okay, sige. So, ang ginawa ko lang ngayon sa introduction, i-enumerate lang natin lahat ng mga glands. O ano na lang tayo. Sa abdomen, meron pang isa. Tapos sa pelvis. Please, aralin nyo ano ba ang mga function ng mga hormones na ito. Kasi pag alam mo yung mga function ng mga hormones na yan, madali na lang yung endocrine disorders. Kasi dalawa lang din naman ang magiging problem yan. Ano yon? Either sobra, over-secretion, or under-secretion. Yun lang. Okay? Done na. Okay. So, pumunta ulit tayo sa abdomen, ha? Ano nga ulit ang pwede natin? Ano pa ang nandyan sa abdomen? Nandyan ang adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are also called suprarenal glands. Kasi nasa ibabaw sila ng kidneys. Okay? And the adrenal glands class has two parts. Meron siyang adrenal cortex. Okay? And this adrenal cortex is producing cortisol, aldosterone, and androgen. And the adrenal medulla, the inner portion of the adrenal cortex, is the adrenal medulla that will secrete catecholamines. Ito yung epinephrine tsaka norepinephrine. Tapos pumunta tayo sa pelvis. Siyempre, nandyan yung ovaries. Okay, anong sinisekret niyan? Estrogen and progesterone. At saka yung testis, anong pinoproduce niyan? Testosterone. Sa endocrine ng MS, hindi na dinidiscuss yung disorder ng reproductive system kasi tapos na yan sa OB. So as far as I remember, yung CU4, yung mga disorders ng pituitary gland at saka diabetes mellitus. Tapos yung CU4, CU5 haba ay thyroid gland, thyroid disorder, tsaka may isa pa. So yun ang uunahin natin kapag nag-makeup class tayo. Please read your modules and read your books. Did you learn something today, class? Sorry po kasi hindi ako laging nakaka-attend sa synchronous natin. Pero I hope you understand. Hahabulin natin ito. But please read. Read, read, read. I promise that to yourself. Ha?